This shop was one of the worst in the entire market, so naturally I bought it. So the question is this a turd or a diamond waiting to be polished? So when I'm looking at buying a business, there are 3 things that I look at first. So in the auto repair business, size matters. The more bays that we have, the more cars that we can fix at the same time, the more business that we can do. In addition to having a lot of bays to fix cars, the other thing we like to have is storage for tires. And this shop has one of the best storage rooms of any of the stores that I own. See, tires are important because customers normally get their service work done, like their brakes and stuff, where they buy tires. So we don't make a lot of money on tires, but we make a lot of money on the other stuff that they buy later. And this building has one other thing that's pretty cool, a secret room. Not in here, this is creepy. Ta-da! It's got its own conference room. Whiteboard, tables. Currently we're using it to store inventory or uniforms because it's got more space than what we need, but pretty cool. And then through this door we have, what's up James? We'll have a shop tour. This is James. I don't know how this got here, but too short to unplug it. So this building clearly has more than what I need. So if the building was good, why did this shop fail? Which leads me to number 2. But to show you number 2, we gotta hop in my car. Number 2 is the location itself. So we can see that we're on a major road, lots and lots of traffic every single day. Thousands of cars are driving by us. So location is really important to us because we're in the retail automotive business, which means, people drive by, they see us, they have a problem with their tire or like a light's on and they swing in and they want to get fixed. Normally, I like to be next to a fast food joint, like a White Castle, a Taco Bell, a KFC, a Burger King. I'm not good enough to be next to a Chick-fil-A, but maybe one day. The one downfall of this location, which is maybe why it's failed, is we are not next to a fast food place. In fact, we're still driving, we still haven't gotten to one, which could be a sign. Which leads me to number 3. Boo, Meineke, boo. Within a few miles, we've got a Wawa, a CVS, a Starbucks, a Pretzel Factory, Smoothie King. A lot of the retail here within 3 minutes of driving.
This is my first time I've ever seen a Smoothie King.
Well, maybe if you're lucky, we can get one later.
Maybe if you're lucky.
This is where they shoot tires. It's literally called Tires, etc. And finally, the third thing that must pass my test is the neighborhood, the community that our shop is in. And as you can tell, we're just a few minute drive from the shop. And this is a nice downtown area where it's a walkable path, there's restaurants, there's places to get lunch and little shops, and there's a university here that's like pretty popular. The neighborhood itself, are people moving here? Do people want to live here? I think are really important. And for this location, it's probably actually one of the best and fastest growing of any of the shops that I own. So it passes the test. So this shop passes my 3 non-negotiables, which is it's a good building, it's got a good location, and a good neighborhood. And those are non-negotiables because I can't change any of them. They are what they are. And if you buy a bad location or it's in some crappy neighborhood or whatever it is, then it's this turd that we have that there's nothing that we can do about it. And no matter how much energy or effort I'm polishing it, it's not gonna work. We know that it's got good bones, we know it's passed the test, which leads me to believe the problem is something else, which actually I can fix. So if the location that I bought is in a really good spot, but it failed, what could it be? Well, maybe the competition is really good, so let's test them out.
Thank you for calling Tires Etc. in Westchester. Your call will be recorded for quality assurance. Thank you for calling Tires Etc. This is Tyler. How can I help you?
Hey Tyler, I got a question. My car is making a funny noise when I drive. It kind of sounds like a duck. I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe. But is that something you guys can look at, or how long would it take?
I don't know. They would have to look it all over, figure out what it is, and then I don't know how long to fix whatever it is. Generally, it takes an hour, 2 hours to diag a vehicle when it gets brought in.
Okay, so 2 hours or so.
And then 2 hours to just kind of figure out what's wrong with it, and then I don't know how many hours to fix it.
Okay, so in our business, the phones are the most important thing. Normally people call a shop, or really any business, before they come in to try to get an idea of do they seem welcoming? Can they fix it? How long is it gonna take? And this guy did an all right job. He said, yeah, can you bring it in? Even though, give him a funny synopsis. But the thing he missed was he never really invited me in, right? He was like, it was just dead silent. I intentionally didn't say anything. But what I want to hear from my guys is for them to say, I don't know what it is, but if you could come on in, we can take care of it for you. And so let's call one of my shops and see how they do, to see if we're any better. All right, so now let's call one of my shops to see how we do, but Ryan's got to do it because they're gonna recognize my name and phone number.
Charles speaking.
My car kind of sounds like a duck, like my engine kind of sounds loud and annoying.
I mean, you gotta just figure out what's going on. You got time to bring it over today?
I think I do. When can I do that?
Within the next 45 minutes or so. Perfect.
How long? Do you know how long that's gonna take me though? I have some stuff. Some places I gotta be.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta take our time looking at it.
What time did you say again?
Within the next 20 minutes.
Okay, cool. That sounds good.
Give me one second. What's your last name?
Doug.
Last name?
I panicked. I couldn't think of any names.
Panicked. Doug, just say it.
He called back. He's calling me back. He's calling
Is he
back.
really?
Yeah.
Decline. No. So it was good. Doug. My name's Doug. What's your last name? Doug. My parents name me Doug.
Doug.
So he did a good job. Asked the question, what's going on? Friendly, invited him in. Do you know where we're located? Got his name. Yeah, we've called already. He's calling him back to try to loop him in. None of the other stores that we called, no one's calling us back. So, you did a good job. Test passed. All that to say that I know the process that we train our guys on is going to beat the competition. All right, so I'm outside another competitor down the street, and I want to see how good they are on the phones, because if they're really good, maybe that's why this business has failed. Hey Sean, do you guys fix engines? I don't know, my car's just like making a weird noise. It kind of sounds like a duck, and I don't know what's going on with it.
No, I wouldn't be able to get it looked at until at least next week. So
next week? Today's like
would probably benefit you.
Tuesday though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm booked up solid all the way the rest of the week. Plus my A-Tech is on vacation after today.
Oh. All right, so this store only has one technician that knows how to fix cars that sound like ducks, and he's on vacation, and they can't even look at it for more than a week. So it's not the competition. I think it's gonna be somewhat steady. There we go. I could totally get up there. All right, so we know it's a good location on a major road in a good neighborhood, and the competition's not that good, so why did this shop fail? First, we have to look at the history. Many years ago, in 2010, this shop was one of the best Midases in the entire market. It was like the number 4 store in volume, which makes sense because of all the things we looked at. So if it did really well at one point, we know that the bones are good, the things that we can't control are good. So why did it fail? I mean, I've learned now over the last 10 years being in this business and acquiring, I have 36 of these shops now, that we are not, in fact, in the tire business, we're not in the car repair business, but we are in the people business, meaning that a success or failure of a store comes down to one thing, and it's, do we have really good people in the stores? And this store failed because they simply just didn't have the right people. That's the best thing for me to buy, because I know that getting the right people in these shops is what I'm really good at. So picture this cup as this shop with its size, its location, its great building, its history of success. This shop is what I'm looking for, because in my business model, it's literally copy and paste. Like, this is my business. This cup, this single Midas shop that we're at today, is now one of 36 other Midas shops that I own. When I'm looking at an opportunity, what I want to see is, does it look like a duck? Does it quack like a duck? It's probably a duck, which means the more I can copy and paste my model across multiple locations in multiple states and multiple neighborhoods, it becomes familiar. Like, I know that a location like this should be able to do a certain amount of volume. I should pay a certain amount of rent, and that the bones are good. And then I also know the type of people that we need to hire to succeed, the staffing models, the pay plans, the marketing. Like, my entire goal is that simplicity scales and complexity fails. And so the more simple like copy paste, copy paste, copy paste I can do, the more likely that like I'm gonna have success because it's familiar. And so I am not afraid to buy a location like this one that's maybe failing and down on hard times, as long as it looks and feels like all the others. As compared to, let's say I came across another opportunity and it looks like this, where maybe it's a shop that is not on a major road. Maybe it's a little small. Maybe it's in an area that doesn't kind of look or feel like any of my other shops. Maybe they do like a bunch of, I don't know, fleet work or industrial or heavy duty, or, there's all these factors that if I were to stick it like in the middle of my organization, it would stick out like a sore thumb. And then now my attention gets split between like the rhythm that we operate at all my other stores, and then this one store that I have to think about, that I have to like run in a different way. And so even if I could get a really good deal on this opportunity, and maybe I can make some money there, maybe it would all work, the risk of the complexity and all that just isn't worth it when my other alternative is just duplicate over and over and over again. And so I'm willing to buy almost any store, no matter what it's doing, no matter at the price, if I think it could end up looking like this. So I have the same formula that I run on every one of the stores that I buy in order to turn them around. The first thing I do is I want to make them look really good from the outside. So this shop up here, the outside of this, used to look really bad. I'm gonna throw up some pictures here of what it used to look like, and you can tell like just kind of look crappy. And so we spent about $50,000 on this brand new bright red tin roof facade thing. And as you can tell, it really pops. We did that drive-by earlier. I mean, you can see the store coming from like a half a mile away. And so that's the first thing we want to do, is make sure the store looks really good, brand new signage, paint, that shows people that like we're putting money into the store and it could get some attention in the neighborhood. The next thing I do is direct mail. I'm a huge fan of direct mail. I spend about $750,000 a year across all of my shops on direct mail. It's really simple. We mail to about 5,000 homes within, a mile or so radius. People don't go that far to get their cars fixed, so it's pretty easy to send them out and then track. Did we mail to them? Did they come in? For this store, we did, I want to say it was like 10,000 or 20,000. Like we did way more than what we normally did because we wanted to drum up a bunch of business once we had painted it and once we had like fixed up and we knew that we had the other components right, and then we wanted to get some people in here. The final part of our playbook is the most important, which is we got to have the right people. I mentioned earlier that we're in the people business that just happens to fix cars. So you can tell like our competitor that we call couldn't get us till next week for my car that sounded like a duck because they just didn't have the staff. They told us to go somewhere else. That's a really common problem in the automotive repair industry, as it's really hard to find great people. And so a lot of our attention is exactly that. How do we find them? How do we keep them? How do we build our own leaders so people want to stay for years? And I've learned over the years the best practices to do those. And so when I bought this store and it wasn't doing well, but it had everything else, I knew that I had to get some new people in here, get the right people in here. And we got a great team now with Chris leading the show, with Rich, with a bunch of the guys here. And I feel we're just getting started and gonna bring the store back up to be one of the best in the Philly market. So there you have it. This is how I determine what is a giant turd that no matter how much we polish it and clean it off, it's still a turd, and what's a diamond. What is a store that we know has tons of potential and we can buy it for really cheap, and then we can put a ton of effort in it, we can put some money into it, it becomes a great investment. And this investment can pay off over the long run. And so I just want to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And some days maybe it gets a little boring, and some days maybe you think, I should chase the next best thing. What I've learned in building a company that now does $55 million in revenue is that boring simplicity, that's how you can scale a company. Complex things, new things, that doesn't work. And if you want to know more details on how I built an 8-figure business, go check out this video here. This is on my second channel called More Brine Beers, which is dedicated to serious business owners with tactical videos all about strategy. I'll see you there.